Alright guys, in this video we have a very significant PlayStation 5 update to go over and discuss. We are starting off talking about PlayStation 5 availability, still a very relevant topic to many. We're talking about a significant development update on some of the biggest upcoming PlayStation 5 exclusives that are set to release in 2021. And we're also talking a little bit about the future of PlayStation Plus, as Sony boss Jim Ryan had some very interesting things to say about it. So before we dive into it, if you could do me a big favor and hit the like button to help this video out and show it your support, I would really appreciate that. And leave a comment down below letting me know if you were able to secure a PlayStation 5 or if you are still one of the many still trying to get your hands on one. Let me know down below. This again is coming from the extensive interview that was done with Jim Ryan on GQ. And so a question that was asked is, since we've got you here, when is everyone who wants to buy a PS5 going to be able to easily buy one? Jim Ryan's response is, all I can say is we're working as hard as we possibly can. You may have read that we sold 4.5 million PS5s at the end of December. That's more than we did PS4s in 2013, and that was the high watermark for the PlayStation generation. So with everything in the world throughout the last year, we feel like that was fairly decent. 1 in 4 of those who bought a PlayStation 5 do not have a PS4, and those around about half are new to the PlayStation network. So it's really nice that we're able to bring in people from outside. I know there were people who wanted a PS5 and could not find one. We are very sorry about that and obviously grateful that demand has been as strong as it is. Now that obviously is not that significant of an answer. He's not making it very clear when we can expect more, but we do have a follow-up question that is asked here that should give us a little bit more insight. But I do want to pay attention to the fact that he points out that 1 in 4 of those who bought a PlayStation 5 did not own a PS4. That is a very interesting and also very telling statistic. The next question that was asked is, what's holding back production? So he says, obviously, at a time like this, supply chains become a little more complicated than would normally be the case. You know, one very visible example is the difficulties in the semiconductor market. You know, whether it's automobiles, smartphones, PCs, or games consoles, the problem in all those areas are very widely documented. We had to move to a distribution model that is entirely online, and that's something that we never had to do before. And finally, just the level of demand for PlayStation 5. So, you know, all of those things kind of combined, we're working as we always have, but with renewed vigor and energy post-Christmas to get supply up. It will increase as each month passes, and the situation will start to get better, hopefully, quite quickly. We have been relentless in terms of trying to increase production, and I really can't say any more than that. So I'm glad that GQ pressed him a little bit more for a better answer, because obviously Jim Ryan won't know exactly when PlayStation 5s are going to be so easily available. But he does say a couple of things here that should give those of you who are still trying to secure a PlayStation 5 a little bit more hope. He's saying that they basically are trying to work harder than they were previously to secure more PlayStation 5s and get them out in the market. He says that month over month, it's going to be easier for them to do so. And he also ends it by saying they think it will get better quite quickly. So some pretty positive words there. He's not giving an exact time frame. And so the next question that is asked is, so just to be clear, there's no date on it. You're doing your best and it will happen when it happens. And he says, we are doing our best. I was just looking at the supply figures for the UK. We put a considerable amount of product into the UK market last week, and that will continue over weeks and months to come. And so GQ says, fair enough. We imagine you've got a roadmap for 2021 in terms of the games that you want to release. How fixed is that given disruption CV has caused to development? Returnal, recently got pushed back a month. And so Jim Ryan says, yeah, we're feeling good about Returnal, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Horizon Forbidden West. And you know, there are two approaches to this. You can either hold the date and put out the game irrespective of quality, or you can ship it when it's right. We have always taken the latter approach. There have been some fairly high-profile instances, Cyberpunk 2077, of publishers trying the former approach. So make no mistake about it, Jim Ryan is definitely throwing some shade over CD Projekt Red's way. I think deservedly so. It's worth noting that Cyberpunk 2077 still is not up for sale on the PlayStation Store, which is insane. But anyway, some very significant things he's revealing here, because later on you're going to see that he does announce a significant game delay for a AAA title that was set to come out this year. So the fact that he mentions Returnal, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and especially Horizon Forbidden West, that's a great sign that all of these games are on track. Frankly, I don't think anybody would expect a delay for Returnal at this point. I think a delay for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is kind of 50-50, but it's looking like it's going to hold that June 11th date. The big question is Horizon Forbidden West, and he is sure to mention that and kind of let us know it's on track, and it will probably be the big holiday title. It's worth noting he did not mention the next God of War, which is interesting to me because there's only been a single mention of this title with a 2021 year put next to it, and that's all we've heard. So, I mean, some are taking this as close to confirmation that God of War is not going to be 2021. And honestly, I can understand that. It seems like the fact they're not talking about it at all, it does seem to indicate that the chances of it coming out this year are dwindling day by day, which is okay because I think Horizon Forbidden West would be more than enough. But he goes on to say, or GQ goes on to ask, I should say, that's one way of putting it. And then Jim Ryan says it never works at the best of times, but I think in this world where creative people are working remotely, you've just got to respect the fact that development needs to take what it needs to take and get the games right. Now, I really appreciate him saying that because I think that is incredibly important. It's good to know that Sony is still holding this same philosophy where when the game's ready, the game's ready, and they will take as much time as they need. They will clearly give their development studios as much time as they need to get it right. I really appreciate that. And the next question that is asked is, so one game you didn't mention there that had been dated for 2021 is Gran Turismo 7. What's going on with that one? It says here that at this point, a PR representative for Sony jumped in the call, promising a statement on Gran Turismo 7, probably in the hope that we'd actually ask about some of the many new announcements. And so they said GT7 has been impacted by CV-related production challenges and therefore will shift from 2021 to 2022. With the ongoing events, it's a dynamic and changing situation, and some critical aspects of game production have been slowed over the past several months. We will share more specifics on GT7's release date when available. Now, that is obviously a very significant delay, and it seems like it just kind of came out of nowhere. I'm sure that Sony was going to announce this, whether that question was brought up or not. And that's why it makes it clear, in my opinion, that Horizon Forbidden West is still going to hit its 2021, second half of 2021 launch window. If it wasn't, I assume they would have let us know here that it would have been delayed, right? Now, it's quite unfortunate that GT7 has to get delayed, but I really don't think it's that big of a deal. It is a big game that many people are looking forward to, and I think that maybe it could benefit from the delay, not just in terms of development, but by the time it does release, because I do think GT7 is one of the bigger PlayStation 5 only exclusives. You know, I think it could really benefit from a bigger install base than maybe some of these other games that are going to be coming out. I mean, Ratchet and Clank is an interesting one as well, so we'll have to see how that game sells. But now we're moving on to the final section here where Jim Ryan is asked about PlayStation Plus, and he has some very interesting things to say about it that I think you guys are going to be happy about. The question was asked, so you noted earlier that the PS5 has already brought some new users into the fold. It was also said by Sony that 87% of people with a PlayStation 5 are subscribed to PlayStation Plus. How does that affect your plans for the platform moving forwards? And Jim Ryan says it's pretty much what we expected. The early audience is an audience that likes to engage with PlayStation Plus. Many of them like to play online multiplayer, and they like the instant PlayStation Plus collection. The next question is, you're going to give away some more old games for free as part of Play at Home, but you're also increasingly releasing new games to PlayStation Plus subscribers, such as Destruction All-Stars and Bugsnax. Is that something that's going to continue? Jim Ryan says, yes, it is. We see this as a very interesting and innovative way to publish games and to make games available to our subscribers. It works for us as the publisher, and we know that subscribers to PlayStation Plus love it. Now, this is a very significant answer because basically what Jim Ryan is saying is that we can expect more games in the future to continue to launch into PlayStation Plus. And I think what he says is 100% true, and I can confirm this as a PlayStation Plus subscriber. I love when they bring games onto PlayStation Plus and actually launch them that way, such as what they did with Bugsnax and especially Destruction All-Stars. I say especially with Destruction All-Stars because we can all agree that PS Plus absolutely saved that game. Now, I don't know what the life expectancy of that game is ultimately going to be, but there's no doubt in my mind that it saved it from being a colossal flop to now giving it a pretty good fighting chance. And hey, if you're subscribed to PlayStation Plus and you get a game like that for free, you can't really complain because it's like, hey, give it a shot, give it a try. Now, I want to also add at the end of this video, and we'll probably talk about this more later on, that the PlayStation Plus games for March as of right now have not been officially announced, which is a little bit strange, as by now Sony would have normally announced it. There is a state of play happening tomorrow, so there's no doubt in my mind that's where the announcement is going to be. A lot of people are speculating that Kena Bridge of Spirits is going to be one of these games that he's talking about that will launch into PlayStation Plus. Now, I can't speak to that as to whether there's any truth to it or not. It's just a rumor, so you have to understand that. But I would say this, that would make a lot of sense, and that would be absolutely huge for PlayStation Plus subscribers. So I'm really glad that they're going to continue to do that. I think every time Sony does this, it's a big win. They've been doing a phenomenal job with PlayStation Plus in recent months, and if they keep it up, I think that that's great. As a subscriber, I will stay subscribed, and they're doing exactly what I would want them to do. I think we can all agree on that. Their lineups have just been incredible. So some very significant answers from Jim Ryan here about the supply constraint they're still facing with the PS5. It seems like there is hope that it's going to get better, hopefully sooner rather than later. They're giving us significant updates on some of these big PlayStation exclusives. It seems Horizon Forbidden West is on track. Unfortunately, Gran Turismo 7 had to be delayed. They're giving us a significant update on the future of PlayStation Plus titles. And it is worth noting, something I didn't talk about is they are continuing the Play at Home initiative where they are giving away the 2016 Ratchet and Clank game for free, I think between March 1st and the end of March. So it's really cool to see Sony continue doing that as well. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Again, leave the video a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.